Going live. I see Rebecca is here and Kathy. Hey guys, thanks for coming. Well, I'm Teacher Kasie and welcome back to my channel. And today I have Kelly here with me. Hey Kelly.
Hello. Hi.
I'm going to switch so I can see you. There you are. All right, so I just wanted to give everyone a quick little overview of what we're hoping for these Saturdays. I have some amazing teacher friends, and I've asked them to come on whenever they can. So you might see different faces throughout, but the fun thing is we have many different topics already in mind. I'm actually thinking about making a jar and just picking one, Kelly, for the week. I don't know.
That's a good
idea. So some of these will be serious chats. Some may be a little bit sensitive. So if you have information for us, you can send it to my email or in my Facebook group, post anonymously if you have some questions that we can either help you answer, or if you just want someone to, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, Kelly? Not really be on their side, but talk things through or
discuss things, maybe.
Yeah. And we all may have different views on different topics. So this is a space for respect of all teachers. And I have to admit, sometimes I am on the fence about a certain topic and other teachers have changed my mind, or I've learned something new. Kelly is more a stand her ground and tell it like it is. And I love that about her. So it's taken me a little while to have this on my channel, but it's something I have wanted on here for a long time. Hey, James, long time no see. So thanks for coming.
Hello.
All right, Kelly, I think this topic should be a fun one today. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. So I saw this in a different Facebook group that I'm in, and basically the teacher says, what kind of lessons have you taught that make you question your life choices? And it's more of like, she talks about, wait, what did she talk about? Now I forgot. How did, oh, the folders. So she talks about having to teach a lesson on how the students put their papers in their folder and not get all the creases, how to make sure the paper is all down. And it's just kind of funny because we, as teachers, all have these kind of lessons. So Kelly, can you think of a lesson you've taught that it doesn't seem like a teacher lesson you would have to teach, but you did?
Yeah, so I just started teaching preschool recently, and we have to teach them not to pee on the playground. Yeah.
Did you ever think in your college experiences that you would have to teach a kid not to pee somewhere?
No. Yeah, you're usually trying to get them to pee as preschoolers, but yeah.
Well, and it's true because different life experiences for these kids. Some go hiking all the time and they just go outside, and others are like, so yes, we need to teach them where and when to go.
Yes.
I was thinking first week of kindergarten has so many of these classes, like how to hang up their jacket, because let's face it, if you don't teach the kindergartners, preschoolers, how to hang up their jacket, it is just everywhere.
That's true. Yes. Yeah. My co-teacher taught them that from day one.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
So let's see. I thought it was funny. I was going through all of the different comments on that one post, and some is like, I teach 9th grade here, and would you believe I have to teach them to write their names, or why it's important to write their names on papers?
Yeah. Yes, always.
So friends in the chat or teachers in the chat, what is something you have taught that made you question, like, what am I here for? Am I really teaching? Which just know you are. Some of these, I think of life skills.
Yeah.
Like, they're the ones where like, do we really have to teach this? I remember teaching a child to walk up and down the stairs. And I was told by one of the other teachers, like, kindergartners shouldn't like step on the same step. They should be able to go on every step with every other leg. Does that make sense? Like how you normally walk up the stairs.
Right.
And some would like step. And they're like, you have to teach them that. I'm like, they didn't teach me in college how to teach how to walk up the stairs.
Yeah, no one ever taught me how to do that. It just kind of, maybe they didn't have stairs at their house. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I already have a grandbaby and I'm like, oh, Next foot, next foot.
Yes.
How about opening milks?
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. And then they don't open it the best way, and then you're like, should I teach them or just let them do it their way? You know what I mean? Like only open the front part instead of opening the whole thing, because then when you pour it
Right.
on your cereal, it spills. But then, they all want to just get it open. So
Right.
you're
So
like,
in your preschool class, they get their own milks?
yes, uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're part of Head Start, so they
Mhm.
provide food. So
Yeah.
they have breakfast and lunch every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, uh-huh. So
Our school, they were part of that as well. They received all their foods at the school too. But the teacher would dump the milk in a pitcher, and they would have a
mm,
community, pitcher for each table. And then
oh,
in
okay.
kindergarten, we taught them how to open up their cartons.
Yeah. Yeah, in kindergarten it's what, 1 on 20, 30 kids. That's a lot for
Yeah.
one person. Yeah.
Well,
At least go ahead.
the first week of school, probably 2 to 3 weeks,
Mm,
I would go with them to lunch. Normally,
mm,
the para would go with them to lunch, but I would the first couple of weeks because, I mean, some of them have never opened milk before. Some, they don't
yeah.
know. Some are trying new foods for the first time, lots of lunch boxes, and
Hmm.
they can't necessarily share their food because of allergies. So the first couple of weeks I go with them. So the poor para is not stuck with 20 something kids.
Yeah, and sometimes
Uh,
it's a cultural thing. Do you guys, some of you, I hear a lot of you are teaching for VIP Kid again, but if you're not, you remember a lot of the parents would just like feed their kids, and you're like, why? They're old enough to feed themselves. Why are they doing
Yes.
that? We have a little boy, not from China, but a different country. Just, I won't say where, just not that you,
Course.
I'm not saying his name, but not that you'd know. But just same thing, like his parents feed him, and you had to
Yeah.
like teach it how to use a fork and feed
Right.
himself.
And
And yeah.
we had a student just like that in kindergarten. This is years and years ago before I was a teacher when I was a para. And the mom wanted to come in every day to feed her child. She said he has never sat down at a table to eat because she feeds him while playing video games every
Oh,
day.
wow.
So he would sit there and play his video games, and she would just keep shoving food.
Yeah. And then that seems, I mean, I know it's a cultural thing, but that's like mindless passive eating. That's almost setting yourself
Right.
up for just eating out of boredom. But,
Right.
I'm sure we
So
have things
he
that make other
just
cultures. Yeah.
right. So it is a cultural thing, and I'm not making fun of any culture, but
Right.
I just thought, if you feed your child, okay, but feed them in front of the video games and they've never come to the table. I thought that was a little different. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure that part's cultural, but
Right, right. And it's not about the culture, but just remember we have a lot of kids. And
Mhm.
so that's not something we could do with every kid. We
Right.
had the parents of this kids ask us, oh, could you feed him in school? We're like, no, we can't do that. And then I had to tactfully say something like, that's a skill he can practice at
Mhm.
home. Yeah.
My first year as a para, I remember this student yelling the teacher's name, and we had bathrooms in the classroom, so it was easy. And he's like, "Can you call my grandpa?" And we're like, "No, why do he needs to wipe my butt?" And we're like, "Oh, no, no." And had to give a lesson like, put the toilet paper,
Yeah.
like explaining how to wipe his own bum.
We
So,
had to do that this year too.
yeah.
Yeah. Or then they come out smelling because they don't exactly do it right. Yeah.
Washing hands is a very good first lesson for
Yes.
students. I
Yes.
encourage all teachers to have that lesson.
Yep.
I think there was one called Scrubby Bears. They have a whole thing on lesson on how to wash their hands properly and things.
Mhm.
I think it was called Scrubby Bear a long time ago. Let's see. Rebecca said we have to teach everything to the little ones. We sure
Mm.
do. Kathy said I had a child show up to kindergarten once in pull-ups, but I don't do potty training in kindergarten, so she had to wait a year until she was ready. Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we ever had that unless they had special needs and had, an aide or a para with them. So,
Mhm.
wow. Oh, yes, Rebecca, cover their mouth when they cough or sneeze. There are lots of adults that I want to have that class
Yeah.
with.
And now they teach, your arm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're not getting it on your hands because they used to teach your hand, but then you
Oh,
go and touch
really?
things, shake hands with people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, at
I have
least where I
always,
live. Yeah.
yeah, I've always done the elbow, put your hand in the
Okay.
elbow, especially nowadays. I see the adults coughing and sneezing, and I'm just, they're like, "Hi, you," just all over everything. And I'm like,
Yeah. Or they do it right in their hand and you don't
like
see them wash their hand right after. You're like, oh, please don't touch me.
everything you touch is now nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, Rebecca. I don't even know that. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Let's see. Most of them, the older groups are talking about their names on papers.
Mm, yeah, that definitely, because I also taught middle school. Yeah, I did a lot of assignments were digital, but every once in a while when they weren't, yeah, you would, or if they put their name, but out of 160 students, it's a really common name like Sophia. Like, what Sophia are you? And then you didn't even put what block you're in.
Right. That's something I
Yeah.
didn't have to deal with in kindergarten and first grade.
Yeah.
I mean, because we practiced their names so much that
Oh,
if we
yeah.
didn't know how to write their name, we had it in yellow the first week of school so that they would just trace it. And so we were constantly writing their names on things for them to trace until they got used to it. But very little did we have to remind them in kindergarten. I think it's because it's a daily thing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, cover. Yeah. Let's see. Can you think of anything else?
Let's see. I think reading a clock is one that is tough for all students third grade up. They do in my county, they do teach it starting in third grade. And at one point I was a para and my job was to help the kids that were struggling with math. And we worked a lot on the clock, but I have gone to, or in my middle school class, or even I've gone to like somewhere, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe taking my dog to the groomers. Someone will be like, what time is it? I'm like, there's a clock right there.
Right.
They're like, what time is it? Can't you see it? It's right there. They don't
I
know
forgot
how to
my
read a
phone.
clock. Yeah, they don't know how to read a clock with hands. Like,
Yeah, that's a lost art. You're
I
right.
know. Or like you'll say, someone will say, what time is it? You'll say 10 of. Well, what time is it? 10 of. You don't know what that means? Yeah.
That's like you say bottom of the hour, and I think I've only heard that from you used.
Really?
Like, I mean, I think I've heard it a long time ago or something, but I think you're the only one that I usually hear say bottom of the hour.
Well, the reason I do it is because when we're talking to our online friends, everyone's in a different time zone. So I don't want to like say a time, bottom of the hour. It's, the hand is at the bottom on the 6 or the 30. Right. Yeah. Or it's at the top of the hour, the 12. Yeah. So I'm thinking of like a clock with hands when I'm, yeah.
I mean, I've always understood it, but I was always like, I don't think I've heard that very much.
Maybe I'm old fashioned.
Rebecca said I avoided teaching my kinders how to read a clock so I could fudge my schedule.
Oh. Well, kindergarten, you can you could pass. I mean, as soon as they can count by fives and they're multiplying, they can read a clock because that's pretty much all it is, times 5.
Yeah.
Time
used to be in kindergarten. I remember doing time, and I remember like just some simple things. And the 5 senses, I don't know if some curriculums have taken that out. There were a few things that they had been changing, and I was really surprised about that. And money, I think I just did just because my first grade teacher had my mentor teacher had a fun game for kids to learn, and it was so easy. So the dime, the nickel, like I just started at the beginning of the year showing them, and I think that just kind of happened that way. But
well, if anyone is watching who teaches kindergarten, do they still teach that? Because coins are becoming almost obsolete. I mean, people rarely use cash, but if they do, it's dollar bills. So yeah,
good to know. Let us know. Oh, I think Kathy was starting to
Oh yeah. So, Kathy says lots of shoe tying instruction. Yes. Well, being in
Oh, I
preschool, I
missed
just
that.
end up tying it for them. So we haven't started trying to show them yet. But yes, I bet in the lower grades.
Yeah, we taught many shoe tying, or we've tied many shoes in our days.
I
I
must say, I'll admit, like I was lazy with that as a parent. My son was using Velcro for quite a while because I didn't feel like teaching it. So I
right.
had to eventually teach it.
That is a tough skill to
It
teach,
is.
though.
Yes.
I found little shoes with shoelaces at Timu, and I was wondering if this would be good for the classroom. See if I can get it. You want to read Rebecca's next one?
Yeah. So let's see. Rebecca said, I avoided teaching my kids how to read a clock. So, okay. We already read that one. Sorry. Kathy says, I taught money and time in kindergarten, but it was years ago now. Okay. And then Rebecca says, my first grader just learned how to read a clock. She now prefers analog clocks to digital. Good job, Mom, for teaching that. Because there's some like people in their 20s who don't even know how to read a clock. So she's
Right.
ahead. She's ahead of the game. Yeah.
I'll have to find that little shoe later, but it's just basically a little cardboard, and they practice tying and
Mm.
lacing. So I thought that was great because lacing is such a good motor skill.
Yeah. Also going back to clocks, quarter of and quarter after was really hard to teach
Yeah.
for when I was teaching third grade because people don't really say that anymore, especially quarter of. They kind of
Yeah.
got quarter after because you had to say the next time. Yeah.
Or quarter till.
Yeah.
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 I noticed my mom says that still a lot.
It's an old fashioned thing, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my mom's generation says that kind of thing because they use analog clocks. So quarter of it's been, only a
Right.
quarter left in the hour. Yeah.
So back to the bathroom chat.
Mhm.
I didn't even think about this one, but I think it's pretty funny. Um, this person put that they're retired but taught kindergarten the last 5 years, and she had to teach the boys what a urinal is and explain it to them.
Oh.
So I remember going into kindergarten, and the boys would go to the bathroom and they'd be like looking at the urinal, and then a boy would use it and they'd be looking at like everybody confused. So parents, if the classroom has urinals, you may need to explain that to them.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think they would have been to a public bathroom with like their dad or something, but maybe not all of them have.
Right. Let's see. Greetings, ma'am. My sister is a current teacher here in Atlanta, Georgia area, and my mom is a beloved by students. Oop, did I miss
Nice.
it?
But I think by
My
her
students,
former
now
students is
retired
what
teacher.
she means.
Excellent. I think I've seen you here before. Thanks for coming again. Are you also a teacher? I'm sure you've heard many stories from your sister and your mom about some of
Yeah.
the things they've had to teach before. I
Well,
have it pulled up, so.
okay. Well, I have one more I just thought of for middle
Okay,
schoolers.
go for it.
They would call teachers bro. I'd be like,
Uh-huh.
none of us like that. We'd be like, that's disrespectful. You don't
Right.
call a teacher bro.
Yeah,
My name
no.
is Miss Tag. Yeah. So yeah, that was one we had to teach. Okay, you can't greet your teachers or like you do your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that one.
No,
I think I
that's not
felt that one when
respectful.
you were talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was Rebecca that mentioned the folder being upside down in the backpacks. Like you have to explain
Yeah.
to the kids how to pack up their backpacks correctly.
Mm,
Not putting open juice boxes in there after lunch or snack time. Some
yeah.
of the kids just think they want to save it, so they go and put it in their backpack, not thinking it's going to be nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had to tell them, nope, you can't save the milk. You can save this other thing, but not the milk.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so much fun. So, guys, I don't know. What do you think, Kelly? Should we stop it here?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything unless anyone in the chat who's watching, let us know if there's something else that you've had to teach that we didn't already mention.
I am sure we are going to have a big list. So I'm going to put this in one of my other groups too. Maybe we'll revisit this one sometime, but keep adding things things that you've had to teach that you never thought you'd find yourself teaching in the classroom.
Yeah.
And come back for more serious Saturdays. We have a couple more serious ones coming up. But I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on some of these other topics.
Yeah.
We're going to post them ahead of time, I think, and get some ideas on what teachers are looking for and how they feel about a certain topic. And we'll come back and chat about it. So I think the plan is to keep these here at 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. So
Yes. And then the nostalgic pod blast said, no, I'm not a teacher, but I respect them due to my mom and sister. Enough about me. I'm just listening. Well, we're glad you're here listening.
yes, you're welcome to listen anytime.
Okay. My
Right,
son's calling me. So bye,
bye,
everyone.
everybody. Thank you
See
so
ya.
much for coming. We'll see you all next time.
See
Bye.
ya. Bye.